Well, hello. Let's go on a journey of some truly meta level insanity of self reflection. That took a while, and there was a lot of messages of me and Claude having some deep philosophical discussions with Claude about Claude, sending off extra messages to Claude. What do I mean by that? My .claude directory in my home directory under projects. This is where Claude tracks everything. And the .jsnl files. Every row is part of that conversation history. And the particular one that I was having was this 71B84, and that's the one that's supposedly close to 3,000 messages back and forth. It also inspired the custom slash command every time I did a compaction of slash ffs to remind it to not have a concussion and get back on track. So what did we create? What happened is I created this. So I can now monitor every Claude process running in parallel. This script does live event monitoring. We'll see that shortly. This one, let's go query. Because it's a bunch of JSON-L files, and I come back to here, there's also to-dos. You'll see that they're delimited by the word agent. The bit before it is the session ID. The session ID links back to these UIDs within the project. So we can link to-dos to an actual project. So what is a to-do? When you ask one of these LLMs a complex task and it starts to do reasoning and chain of thought of like, okay, for me to achieve these things, it'll just create this JSON file, and that's how it checks. Is it progressing? Is it doing the thing? So that was one where I marked them all as completed. All good. There's some they've started but they aren't completed. Medium, this one's completed. Pending. So this is one that I worked on a while ago, but I interrupted it. So the file's still there. So it says there's some in progress and pending, but I had to get it to check the M time, the actual modified time of the file. It's like it's pending, but it was interrupted, so it's actually stale. The thing is, duckdb can just query a folder of JSON files like it's a table. Magic. So coupled with duckdb and the watchdog library, we've got some real-time monitoring and multi-agent stuff going on. So I was able to get some stats about here's all the sessions, what's the most recent task, its status, you able to see its freshness, ones that are stale, what's up here, all sessions, and all the different linked to-dos. What was the last message, total message count, damn, and so on. Part of the way I had to get this to test it was getting Claude to run the script that it's building, get it to do its own timeout so that can keep running. But I also told it I gave it permission to run Claude itself with a -p. If you run Claude with a -p and give it an instruction, it'll run that instruction until it gets to a stop event, and then it just terminates. So that way you can like detach from it and know it won't be hanging there waiting for input. It'll just do the thing and then stop. That's important because that's the thing that I'm about to do. But it was quite interesting getting Claude to trick a Claude event so it could self-test itself. So let's have a look at this in a moment whilst I go and trigger this. So what's going to happen here is I've got a Worktree script. I'm going to give it a branch name. Strands Agents. Tell it number of variants. So it's going to do 3 branches of Strands Agents and run the same prompt. Copy over any sensitive files because when it creates a worktree, it just does like a git clone. You need to copy the .env file over and run the Claude command. So what are we doing? Claude-p, the prompt, captures the log output, but then it detaches it. So let's fire that off. Let's go monitor the changes and go have a look here. So we see now, this is how VSCode represents the 3 work trees relative to my super project, the main project. And hopefully this, here we go, updates. We should start seeing different session IDs. Looks like it's throwing some errors. That's going to be fun. So this is where I get to go here. These are the experiments, and this is the files. Let's see what those messages are. Now, it's doing it, but it seems my monitoring script has been a bit silly. There we go. I can start seeing some different sessions going on, and they're active to-dos. Need to fix the watchdog for what's going on there, but I can start to see what's going on. But it's pretty cool, duckdb is just able to query a bunch of folder files. You go, here's the latest information about what's going on, multi-process on your system. And I can see what's going on here. And they're all running in parallel. Hopefully, we should be able to see some actual script updates soon, because at the moment it's just doing planning for all 3 of them. Is this one doing anything? Switch out to do a web search. Cool. Cool. You can see there's 3 active sessions with 10 to-dos that it's got in flight. Not bad. And I can start seeing experiment 1, explore basic strands agent. Cool. At least found that it has to install that library. Strands agent. Pretty basic agent, working through all that stuff. Test. Let's see what's going on in here. Cool. It's writing a test file. Let's go with it. That experiment has it. Oh yeah, there we go. Finally. I do find it interesting in the to-do where I was trying to tell it create a strands agent prototype. I didn't tell it which model, but Claude Code went to decided if I'm going to pick a model for you, it's going to be Claude. I do find that amusing. I've done a test run of this before, and one of the other test scripts I saw, it went and found the list of models that Bedrock supported, and it intentionally filtered out to go and grab what are the Claude models. Oh. Okay, at least found that. Is it important? Yes. Does it create an agent? Create basic agent, good. Prompt response, does a test. Cool. There was one variation of this earlier. It didn't even install Strands Agents library. And it invented a Strands Agents class. It was trying to build something that would mock what I thought it wanted. Okay, cool. So that's going to do its thing. I wonder when that's going to stabilize that it's done. It's going to try and go through all those. I'm not going to wait for all these to complete. What I am going to do I'll probably kill these off. But if I have a look at Git graph, I can see that it's created these 3 branches. And they're all separate work trees over in separate folders. By code, level, full, Strands Agents, cool. So you're able to see that the Git work trees have them as a sibling folder, the suffix WT, and the branch, and then the experiment variation. I'm lucky these will actually finish at some point in the future. Oh, 1 to do left. Good. I mean, some of these sessions are actually killed. I don't have to kill them off myself. Come on. Should we use 767? Let's keep an eye on that through here. Oh, it's this one. 767. Completed. Cool. Got a summary message. Assistant should be producing a summary message soon. It's normally when they wrap it up. Cool. All to-dos are done. Apparently there's only one session that's active. Excellent. Now, all 3 of them created a basic implementation of a Strands agent and a test by the looks of it, which is good because that go to my coding principles as part of my guidelines. Got different lenses on how they should do code review. Got testing, how to write a test, and it should be a sibling file. So it was compliant with that, which is pretty good. And how the test files are actually independent. You can just run them by themselves. So makes it good for having Claude having the autonomy to just make one-off files and just run with UV. All the dependency management is using the PEP73 inline metadata at the top of the file. So pretty cool. And now apparently Claude can build its own agent. So see if I've done this correctly. you do explore AWS profile full send. Apparently, you run some of that file scripts. Yep. Explore basic strands agent. Failed. Well, that one sucks. Oh, and this is why do them in batches, review them. Maybe one of them works. Close that off. And the last thing I want to show is WTC, which is Worktree clean. Now, I could autocomplete it with a branch name. So I want to look at multiple sets of work trees, so different branches, different experiments of fanning off. But for now, I wanted to just do all work tree branches. And it goes and cleans them up. So we'll see there are no work trees. And all those work tree branches, because they had a certain naming convention, go and delete them. Cool. That's been a lot of work, a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.